that it's 0.5% of men. So to put men on trial for what 0.5% have done is it's got to be an agenda.
Can you tell me what the statement of that 0.5% was? Is that convicted crimes by any chance?
Okay, so these numbers are from the US, but I checked the UK numbers. It's actually much less as well.
Is this convicted?
Okay,
crimes?
so these numbers are
Is this convicted crimes?
There are 160 million males in the US, right? In 2020, there was, if you combine all SA, all unalivings, femicides, together, it's 450,000 people, males.
So is this convicted crimes?
It's convicted crimes.
Okay, so let's start with that to begin with, at least.
And before you say that, let me just put this in context. We live, all of us, in a country that believes in due process, right? So you can't go and put numbers onto about any other statistics, because some women use the 4-in-1, right? And that statistic was pulled from a survey of women, people just asking women, have you been SA, right? And the actual number of men that have been convicted is less than 0.5. So we have to start with a base of convictions. And if you want to estimate from out there that, there might be some that haven't been convicted, haven't reported, you can start from the base of 0.5. And then
you disagree with women who are choosing the bear?
I mean, yeah, because what? Like, have all the women saying this? Have they had their own personal experiences where they've been attacked or had a personal experience? Or are they just riding a wave and hopping on something that's trending on social media? So you can choose the bear for your own reason, yes. And I can also choose the bear with a woman for my own reasons. It works the same way.
You can choose the bear, but it's not about whether men choose the bear. It's about the question was directed towards women. So changing the variables.
What if we direct it towards men? We get to the same conclusion.
You're changing the
I see you have a bunch of women in here. There's barely any straight males in this love. If this was a little fair, maybe you could see like my perspective a little more.
This is fair because the topic, believe it being a gender war, then you're missing the point of what's happening.
Okay, so what does this kind of rhetoric open up then? Because I could say the same thing about LGBTQ or anyone else.
So the point of it is, this is about women's experiences of men, not all men, not every individual man. Because of that, they are trying to say that they would choose the bear in this hypothetical scenario.
Okay, but anyone can make any hypothetical scenarios, bro. That's what I'm saying.
But go make one. Go make one. That's fine. No one's saying you can't do that. But you're
saying for this. You're saying for this specific hypothetical, right? In this case scenario of why women would rather choose the bear. I mean, do you think if you ask a chick who just got broken up with yesterday, she's going to say bear just to say it? She may have a loving husband. She may have a loving father, brother, uncle. She may have never had anything happen to her in her life. A boy might have just not texted her back the other night and she's going to pick bear. Don't discredit that. I know how women work.
About flipping it, and then the statistics and the men who are in here invalidating and victim blaming are the ones who aren't listening, and that happens quite a lot everywhere.
I have never victim blamed or any of that. I understand women go through terrible things, but like I said, what about all the high school teachers, all the women who are raping little boys? That happens more than male teachers, right?
You're centering it around men again. No one is invalidating.
That's a different lie. Like I said, that's a different.
No one's invalidating those experiences. This is what I'm trying to get at. No one is sitting here and saying that what you're bringing up there as another live is not real. But don't bring it into this live when it's not relevant.
Okay, what do you think, in your opinion, is invalidating that? How are men invalidating? Women have, I don't want to get banned or anything, but yeah, unalived, their own children, people assaulted, all those things. If you run the numbers, it's actually more. And it's crazy we're not talking about that. Like, it should be like.
So you honestly believe that men would choose to be in the woods with a bear over a woman much more?
I mean, why not?
But no, not why not. Are you saying that's what the majority of men have chosen, honestly?
I mean, now.
No,
I
exactly.
don't care. I don't care whether. Me personally, I don't care whether it's a bear or
part of the problem. That's part of the problem, the fact that you don't care. Why don't you care about the fact that this is something women are going through and their experiences have been valid? Why don't you care about that?
I didn't say I didn't care.
Sorry, I thought you just said I don't care. So what is it you don't care about?
No, I just meant like it just depends on like perspective, right? I understand it, but like I said, if I flip it, do women care?
Well, women have been caring for years because they're trying to raise an awareness for it to stop or reduce or like for men to understand their behaviours. Of course they care. They're at the hands
We
of
get
it.
the men's behavior and we get the women that are hurt and affected by this, right? But those women also have brothers. Some of those women have sons. Some of those women have. I mean, I don't vilify anyone because, like I said, but this is what I will say to those women who all agree, right? Like you know how I said about a woman can get her heart broken yesterday and just say the bear just because, right? There's a lot of women in here just going with this when they have loving husbands, loving grandfathers, really good men in their life, right? A lot of them haven't even been hurt or had anything wrong with them, like happened to them. I've actually experienced things at the hand of women as a young age. So I actually do have experience. I actually can say I actually will choose the bear because this happened to me on this day when I was this years old at this time, right? I feel like a lot of women are just having a trend, to be honest, without any real emotional attachment to it.
I haven't invalidated.
For one, every 68 seconds in the United States of America, a woman is SA'd. 91,
Hang on, so you can respond when she's done. Go ahead, Shirley.
93.6 of all SA cases, the perpetrators were male. And I don't know who said it's a small percentage, but in the Black community alone, 12.1% of sexual assault or violent acts committed against women are by males. So I don't understand why people don't understand the hypothetical question. Can't bridge the gap between the two.
Now, the stats, respectfully, that you just named off, it doesn't mean anything in the context of what we were talking about. Because the concept is still this. Man versus bear is, and I know, as I mentioned earlier, some women are trying to lash out because of what they went through and all that, but most, and basically kind of educated me even more because it all comes together now, right? It really all comes together. Most of the women that are saying this, right, that whole, men are this and men are that, right? You're saying that, okay, we have a problem in the male community, but please understand that if you are SA'd once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, right?
Okay, Dominic.
Well, I'm just going to throw an analogy out there. If you are, odds are you have, 10 friends, right? Over the span of a certain time, you have 10 friends. And all of those 10 friends turned out to be horrible friends. After a while, you got to look at yourself and say, well, probably my choices of choosing friends are bad. And my judgment may not be as what I thought it was, right? So, and I say this to say that a lot of the women that are talking about, oh, men are this and men are that, they say men in general, not in general, they would say it's not in general, but they're conceptualizing it as in general. So what I'm saying is we can flip the script and say, if you were SA'd, right, say once, okay, we understand that, that's horrible and it's never good. But many of you guys are being SA'd once or twice or 3. You're going on dates and men are, according to you, are making advances and unwanted advances. But you are the ones going on dates. You're the ones picking these guys. So where is the accountability and the judgment to say that, okay, you know what? Probably my judgment on choosing men who are suitors are not good because you are just so unlucky to choose 3 or 4 men that are going to do that to you, right? Many of you guys, right? So what are you saying? What are you saying? Speak to that. Why is it that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes on average it's 2 or 3 that you guys are being SA'd? What's the problem? Is it that you're attracted to men that what's the problem there? Let's speak to that.
It demonstrates how low IQ society is becoming when you have to have a simple question like this. It's the most simplistic question you could ever get, and this is what becomes popular nowadays. It's ridiculous. Everything's based on logarithms and the most relatable content and what relates to the most people at any time. And as most people are pretty low IQ these days, that's what gets pushed to the top of the tree. Top of the pile. And as women seem to be a few IQ points lower than men in general, like that seems to be, they run with it.
Oh, definitely.
And a lot of women don't really understand that. Like they're just going to go along with this nonsense because they haven't got enough nuanced thought to go along with it. They haven't got the critical thinking skills. Because it demonstrates a lack of critical thinking skills just to come up with this silly argument. And then
Take the same question you've just asked, which is how can you tell if a man's bad or good? If we switch that, how do you tell if a woman's bad or good?
You can't. You can't tell who anyone is, truly.
Use our instincts as men to figure out what woman is worthy of a relationship. We use that logical brain rather than if women got out of their emotions and think logically rather than emotional, they would pick better men.
I agree.
yeah, but you can't change a woman though. They're always going to be like that. So, and that's what these elite people, that they prey on this. They prey on the woman emotionality. They prey on that, and they use it to brainwash these women, and that's how it goes.
Emotionality.
You can't train a woman not to be emotional. You can't train a cat not to chase a bird. You can't change these things. But I don't know what you can do against it. But you got to you got to make them see. You got to try and make them see sense. You know, because at the moment they're not seeing much sense because they're arguing silly arguments like this.
But then they're going to